This game is flawless Skyrim together online multiplayer Yogscast. The best part is that Lewis is a Casiate, who have a stereotype in universe partly true due to a religious reverence for the key ingredient, moon sugar, due to it in X27's supposed connection to the moons for being skooma addicts. It in X27, this is entirely consistent with the lore, possibly canon at least, that the universe is some giant, occasionally inconsistent dream or collection of dreams. Lewis has obvious C0DA, but with Lewis as Jubal. That in X27's not really how shim works, but I in X27 LL allow it. I in X27 LL shim all over you if you don in X27 T shut up in front of the normies. Lewis, the skooma addict, reveals to the group his stash by fighting a shadow orc in a skooma-induced psychosis. Now this feels like a Yogscast video, a mod that only half works, unfinished quests that lock away half the game, continuous dying, enemies only player can see, just 3 friends racing about and getting nothing done, pure. Unadulterated, seriously, this was absolutely gold. I now want a full 40-60 hour recording hell for the Yogs. Sounds like a plan. That part where Lewis was hallucinating about an orc and Simon and Ben were just playing along was hysterical. Aw man, I like how Simon was shooting Lewis for no apparent reason. I love how much of a clusterfuck this is, it just makes it feel more Yogscast. I know that everyone was jerking each other off about how the Yogscast should 50 million different series with Skyrim together, but it looks so rough right now that I can in X27 even imagine a full release for this mod anytime soon. For real. If it in X2 Elder Scrolls 6. I know this is a meme, but ES6 was announced and will probably release in a few years. Just on the minute. Oh, I didn't in X2, it was just a short teaser at E3 last year, but there in X27 a few things that can be discerned from it. I feel like with the shady stuff the devs have done, insulting them is probably okay, as GooBlaster17 said. Not a fan of Kotaku, but this article sums it up pretty well. Scummy as they may be, they in X27 definitely still talented. Stealing parts of their DEV lead has stolen so many different things over the years, it in X27's hard to keep straight. Up to and including the mod itself. We only know about the SKSE code they stole. If they in X2 Honeydew Incorporated public relations.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot bar. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.